always from the collar. Look, Asa, it's the area from the collar to here. Why up to here, sir, and not up to here? I'm speaking logically. Well, we won't be working on fish. We'll be working on a standard body. What did we say at the beginning? This is the longest point of my body. All my bodies will come out the same. This point is my limit. Beyond this is evening gown fish. Yes, it is an unlimited point. We have worked on and prepared this area. If we end up working on evening wear, it will be full-length fish style, which exists. We will evaluate this from here. We will see how we will evaluate it. What we need is the point from the collar down. Where? Up to here. On my mannequin, from here to here is 60 centimeters or 50 centimeters. On your mannequin, it might be 70 centimeters. That's why I can't answer. How many centimeters will it be? Now, I adjusted it here according to my own measurement. Yours turned out differently. Well, teacher, ours won't be enough. It shouldn't be like this. I'm empathizing. Now, let's say my mannequin is different. More precisely, this is 38.
One of you went and worked at 42. Well, this is different.
So I said, well, sir, you will work with 50 centimeters. 50 centimeters of fabric. What if it turns out longer than 50 centimeters? Did the teacher say it wrong? The teacher is doing something in their own way. That's why yours might be different. What we need is fabric up to the line we determined, but make it extra, then clean it from the bottom. Just so you know, don't come and cut it exactly at the border. It can be extra. It's no problem at all. Then what will the width be? Believe me, that's not there either. So it doesn't have a width. It's entirely based on handwork, on the comfort of the fabric. Now let me say that from here upwards, look, I'm calculating for the shoulders. Don't skip this part. Don't do it like this, not like this. In those straight bodies, it's worked with standard sizes. However, in our models, if there's a collar situation, the point where this pattern will emerge is directly up to the top of the neck, here at the very top. Why? If we don't do it at the top, if we do it here, it won't reach the collar. Look, it didn't reach the shoulder.
Well, we don't want it like this. In that case, we will take it to the top. We are taking it as high as we can.
And we will make our initial starting mark like this. First point. Where? A mark right in the middle. Look, I left too much at the top. First point. Where is my second point? Here. I'm talking about the length, but there are also gaps here. First, let's fill this gap like this. To complete this, look, pay attention to the techniques of my hands. This is sensitive. Yes, I say normally the meter doesn't matter. This, that, or the other doesn't matter. This is important. This is important. Otherwise, it will tire you and the result will be unsuccessful. Let me put it this way. You place the first point. Place your hand like this next to it. Fill the gap. You filled the gap, it's settled up to the neck here. Look, I'm not ruining this fabric, the straight part. I'm not ruining the straight part of the fabric either. I took this from here and left it. I fixed it here with my hand, a pin right here on the shoulder. Then I placed this part flat. Look, it's settled on its own. Be careful, very careful. This part is set. You can now go straight down. Why isn't it getting messed up right now? Why? Because I've already fixed the shoulder point. I didn't disrupt the straight grain of the fabric. I went down like this. Look, I went down a bit further. Normally my limit is here, but I say just in case, if there's any shrinkage or something happens, instead of stopping at this limit, I stop a bit lower. Let it come right on the line and stop here. Don't let it be in the air like this. To these places now. This construction logic gives you the covered and the uncovered. Soon we will understand how beautiful an area we are in. Let's move on. The more densely you stitch here, the more beautiful it becomes. Just so you know, the denser it is, the more beautiful it will be. Okay, after creating this first line, look, my lines have started to appear. My lines, where I will go, what I will do, the style of my model, what I will do will become clear. But when? Let's wait a little longer. Because we haven't quite settled it yet. Like this, the straight grain of our fabric, meaning it won't disrupt the straightness. All the threads will be straight. Look, you can give the excess here. It's no problem at all. Let's go this way towards the back. Look, I went towards the back without disturbing the straight grain of the fabric. Let's leave ourselves an area that we can use. Let's stop like this. Look, this part is also high like the front. Okay, I left it. A bit of top fixing is also valid for the bottom. I'm checking the fabric like this. I'm looking to see if it's straight. Are the threads straight? If it's straight, so it doesn't slip. Now I've come. I placed this here. I left it. I'm checking it once more. Yes, it's sufficient for me. Now, my dear friends, you can get rid of this excess fabric, especially from the lower area. What happens there then? There won't be any waste of your fabric either. I'm careful to prevent slipping. I'm making sure all the fabric threads are in the same direction. I've done the fixing. Like this. Let this excess stay on this shoulder. However, we can save the bottom part. Let's see what we've done. I took this. I held it a bit extra like this. Do not cut this part vertically. In other words, do not cut upwards immediately. Leave a little extra here. Let me put it this way. You can cut from shoulder level and free it from here. What am I saying? Let the entire back remain like this. It might be needed as a precaution. Now, we understand why I said there is no centimeter. There is no centimeter here. It's a free space. You will do it however you want. You will soon understand why I said there is no centimeter, because the seam allowance you use is different for you and different for me. We've already understood the logic regarding the length. So if we've understood up to this point, my friends, please write a comment right now. Please write a comment right now. I ask you to write if we've understood, so there can be interaction, activity, movement, and liveliness. I'm asking you, if we've understood up to this point, how did we place this fabric? There are no centimeters. It completely changes according to our preference. We left a large allowance at the back as a precaution up to this point. It will become clear when we use it shortly. This work will become clear. If we have understood up to this point, please write a comment. Let's do it this way. Let's say we have reached up to here. We need to make a decision right now. Sir, I want to take the model in my hand here. Our model is a light body, a body without many features, a light body.
The model's body has come together and finished here. However, we will work on both this and its covering. We will sell both the patterns and the bodies. We will trade them. So if we know the information of a product, we will evaluate everything, as they say, its marrow, bones, fat, salt, and water.
So they say that there's no such thing as knowing something and leaving it there. As producers, as an industry, we will completely enrich ourselves. And if we know the beginning and end of a path, we will also evaluate what is in between. This is our model at hand. Well, we will do this. So, in preparation for this body, it tells us, since this is not a hijab, then you can take this seam straight up. Actually, that's the logic. You can take it straight up. It tells us not to tire ourselves too much.
All right then, sir, let's start from the point I marked at the nipple to the point I marked like this. Look, a handful, let's even say more than a handful. We have to open this part. Now look, I've opened it here. Why? The fabric has settled and I've taken this allowance here. Look, this allowance will completely go here. What is important for me is, do you see these fabric threads? Like this. These fabric threads should be straight. It will be straight like this. And a little allowance will be given to this side. Look, a little allowance will be given to this side. Up to here, look, a pinch, a finger's width, that is. But don't keep it small, keep it big. The bigger you keep it here, the more comfortable you'll be. Now we've come here, took it like this. Am I placing the first needle mark? Lucky, I took it here. Well, this applies to the bottom as well. I made my first fix. This part is important, dear friends. It will look better once this part is gathered shortly. But what happened first? I held this strand here. The same logic applies here as well.
We have our line below. This, well, since we made the line, how nice. So what if we also mark here? What about the bottom? We marked here too. I stretched this. This part is also tight. When I hold it like this, both from above and below, it started. The path started. The right step actually started. Yes, Allah, how will I place the fabric? How will it be? How will it proceed? Yes, this is really a sensitive point. Let's pay close attention here. Look from here. After reaching the chest, the shoulder also wants us to follow the line. Our line goes upward, like this, in that case, sir, so that there is no tension here. I wonder if we should open the collar a bit to relieve it, because this part, look, it's tight here because this part is fixed. Let me open the collar a bit above my collar line. Without going down, just this area. Don't go this way. Mistakes will happen. Experience speaks. It will happen. It has happened to you too. Don't go this way. What we want is nothing more than this. Let's be careful. If what we want is for this fabric to just lay here, then we don't need to cut up to here. I'm putting an X here. Oh, don't do this. It happens. I did it too, and I don't want the same thing to happen to you, because it can pull the fabric again and you might have to remove all those pins. So just open it like this, turn immediately, go up right away. We just want the fabric to lay like this, actually, like this. This will be adjusted. But if I go a bit more there, whoop, the neckline opens from here. You can do it even after seeing it, but don't open it directly to the side without seeing. Don't open it immediately. Let's not have that happen. It's not nice at all. He took apart the whole pattern again, raised it up again, and so on. It's not nice at all. I mean, it bothers me. That's why I do it if I have to. But as I said, it's not a nice thing. So, dear friends, look, we have come here. We constantly fix this part so it doesn't stretch in the middle. I look like this, I look like this, I look like this. Yes, well, okay. So, when we see the straight thread here, let's leave this part for the end. Let this excess fabric stay here. I'll leave it for last. I'm not in a hurry. I left it for the very end, my dear friends. Look, I stretched the area up to the shoulder line. I saw that these threads are straight. My fabric is neat. This part is left for the end. What have I done? I relaxed the collar. I took the excess fabric at the bust point. I adjusted this area too. I distributed the excess here as well. I adjusted my fabric at the shoulder like this. I left this excess here for the very end. I came here. At this point, yes, after doing this part, if I need some extra here, look, the extra fabric we gave from the back earlier is now telling us, yes, you took the front part. Now, for the side, it's telling me to give a little extra piece from the back. So, I'm loosening the back now. Look, now I'm opening the back too. And now it's telling me, yes, can you give a bit more? Give it from here so I can work comfortably. We took a bit more and we gave it here too. I fixed the pin again. I'm doing it and I'm leaving it here. Like this, 3 pins. We don't need to insist too much on this because you'll keep taking it from there. Now let's come to this point.
This shoulder top is the easiest part. This is the easiest, most comfortable part.
I came like this. I saw my line from below here, my side line. I took my allowance here. Look, I took my allowance like this, held it like this, and I'm checking, yes, is it working? It worked. Look, it worked immediately.
Then, right away, a double needle from below. This time, I'm throwing it to the right and left.
From here, like this, right, left.
I did my fixing. Yes, what happened here? Ready. It's waiting for me, saying do the process. Here.
Okay, if it says proceed, then this part is also set. In fact, come here to a point. We have a line mark here where, look, you can see it like this. We have a red line that follows the armhole and goes to the shoulder. So, if we drew this line, let's make our first fixation here in a way that aligns with that line. The line will follow exactly from where the line is. Gradually, you will see the importance of these lines when we work with them. Look, in this logic, generally, lines in all patterns are not like this. This is a bit different. There is the eye turn, the shoulder, the sides, the arm. It's a bit different, in other words.
That's why these lines are not the same as the other patterns. You can forget your previous knowledge at this level. From now on, you can build your structure, your system on this. Here, I took this mark. Here, I left it.
Yes. Look, I placed it in the middle. Let's do something similar here as well. We saw it immediately.
We have our line here. We see our line like this. When I see the line, I immediately say, yes, here I can immediately gather the excess fabric in the middle. And from here, I can take a mark like this.
Got it. This part is done. So I've come this far. I've fixed this part too. Okay, this can stay. 2 centers have been fixed. Be ready for a perfect result when it's gathered, friends.
Now, after doing this part, we have a line like this. Since this line is at the breaking point again, I'm extending it a bit more now. I'm giving it a bit more here because I've stabilized these parts. I've stabilized this. I've stabilized these parts. Now I'm allowing extra room for this shoulder. I'm allowing it for this point. Let this be ready like shit. So I gave plenty. So I came here. I gave this here too.
Again, there will be excess in my pattern, in my fabric. I will make use of that as well. What happened? Now I will do the same process here.
I'm coming. I can hold this area steady here. I'm coming right here for this part too. Look, I fixed one here. I immediately did the counterpart. I'm going in pairs to be sure. I can see this from the very bottom. Look, I can see this from the very bottom. I took this part too. Let's do a double here as well. Like this, right and left. Let's see what this will give us from the middle. We also have our line in the middle. Let's take that middle line from here and stabilize it. Positions may change. There might be tension later. Corrections might be needed. It's no problem. Don't worry about it. We got that part. Now I have this needle in the middle. Look, for example, the middle is tense. And according to that tension, I say, yes, let me go down a bit so that everything aligns evenly. Because we're going to set off. Yes, my line is here. I look at this one like this. There's a slight tension in this one too. I relaxed it.
I moved a bit further down so that they all stay at the same level. What happened? The start was already indicated. Here, this line is actually the main path we will follow. That's why these are actually the final points. I held this part in a balanced way, one here. Look, following our line here, one here. Just take a look. Teacher, it went a few millimeters to the left of the line. It went a few millimeters to the right of the line. No problem. Everything's fine. No problem. It can shift a little. It's not an issue, but it shouldn't shift too much. Why? If this is to fit into our own system, let's be careful. Let's make our lines as close as possible. Look, I'm not a legislator. I'm not saying it again. It doesn't have to be from there. No, Bob, not like that. It might not happen, you know. No problem. It might not happen. The best thing is we'll work on it. If we mess up, it's experience. If we succeed, great. We'll mess it up together, so what? We really might mess up one of them.
Here you go. I'm going roughly. I'll do it. It's not more valuable than you. And that's why I enjoy these too.
Relax, take it easy. Everything is already our fear. I'm going to cut the fabric. Oh, I'm going to cut it wrong. I can't cut it.
If I can't cut it, I can't succeed. That's how it is. I'll always mess this up. Oh, I'll mess this up. But if I don't mess it up or don't take action, it doesn't work. So what will happen then?
Break it. Come on. Do as much as you can. So let's secure this part right away.
I fixed it like this. What happened? The shape started to show itself. Okay, we agreed. Let there be no bulges. To make it pleasing to my eye, I will now ease these expansions on the side a bit. What am I going to do then? Look, I stretched this part. Now, once the shape is good, I can pin it from wherever I want. After pinning, put a pin downwards so it doesn't come back up to get a good result. Let's take a look like this. This is done. This is good too. I want to do the same process on the front center. The handles line. I stretched it, I pinned it here too.
Look here, the bottoms are almost finished. Look here, there's some gathering here. To fix this gathering immediately, if there's tension here, you should fix it from here. If not, then from there. You do it, don't worry, it's okay, no problem. The fabric turns, and if it turns, you cut it. It doesn't matter. What am I doing here? I pin it as close to the line as possible and leave it. This one here too, okay. Up to here, like this. Now let's see the back. At the back point, let's do some slight stretching now. It will relax us, relax our product, and make our pattern look nice. I'm fixing it like this. Don't stretch too much. You will gather from that side because don't stretch too much. Just take in the slack. First, it should appeal to us, look nice to our eyes. The rest will settle on its own. Small fixings like this, the result is amazing. The pattern is great. So let's get to this point. I stretched it like this. I want to do one from here too. Let it stay fixed. Now look, what are they saying? Like cream, like a razor? I mean, we'll get a super result like oil. Now let's move on to the center of the chest. I come closer, we've reached the center of the chest. I'm sliding it like this to find the correct line. I've come to the center of the chest like this. Look, don't be bothered when inserting the needle. Just make sure the fabric sits properly. Don't rush. Let's be conscious. Really look. Really see. Don't act without seeing. It shouldn't be like this, saying the letter without seeing it, just guessing. Let's truly see, understand, and act accordingly so that everyone is at ease. Your successes are important to me. That's why I am careful. Once I fix my first needle at the nipple, I did it. Look, that's it. I attached it. From now on, it's downward. Now look, I won't disrupt the chest curve as I go downward, and I fixed the underside of the chest from here. Okay, I continue like this. Look, I continue like this. I completed it. I tested it. Look, it fits like a razor for me. I am not approaching this area at all. This is a risky area. This area is a risky area. That's why I'm not rushing and I'm being patient. I leave it for last. If you do a few stretches from underneath, the fabric will feel more comfortable in your hand. I'm talking about these points. Take the middle like this, stretch the middle a bit like this. You'll enjoy working more. That's what I'm saying. Let's stretch this area as well. Look, let's stretch here too. Hold it from these points and stretch it downwards, but insert the needle in reverse. Do not insert the needle like this. It won't hold, it will come out. See, it came out. That's why you stretch it downwards. You insert the needle from bottom to top. It's the reverse logic. All right?
Let's come up to here now. We have our line here, the armhole line.
Line. Let's remove the excess from this line here. Let's also fix this here. The word not working with this much detail, this much logic, this much transparency, this quality of image, this quality of sound, and after this production is done in front of you, the not working situation, impossible. It is not something that can be accepted. It is unacceptable. I mean, it will happen here step by step, inch by inch, millimeter by millimeter, detailed explanation, truly explained with empathy. Such systems, broadcast quality. Sir, if you still can't do it after this, if you can't do something you see, then it means it won't happen. It's something related to you. You need to correct yourself to look at it in a real sense. There are many friends who do it right away in one go, just so you know. But look, I'm going step by step here on purpose. The biggest problem starts here. So why am I explaining the questions here? We started from the bottom. We started from the top saying, use the needle like this, do this here, do that, there won't work. I won't accept it. After such detailed explanation, there can't be a I couldn't succeed situation.
Persevere, succeed. We were like, you friends. I mean, we didn't know other, but there was no one to show us. Let's say we have many friends. No one showed us this. No one showed us this much detail.
Was there anyone? No, there wasn't. We reached this level by going through great difficulties ourselves. But right now, there is a system that supports you, saying, yes, look, do it like this, like this, like this on a silver platter. Well, you need to do this. We went through a lot of difficulties to get here. Look, we have friends, let them write. There is no such education. I mean, how is the setup done in such detail. How is the foundation started? How is the mold made? Production phase, system phase, sewing phase, design phase. I mean, there is no such system. We are unique in the world, and now these are in your hands. Please consider that when you see something, please stand up, believe in yourself, and do it. I kindly ask you, our successes are very important. If you want to be proud of yourself and want us to be proud of you, you will do it. If you want to, if you've come this far, you came to do it, and you will do it, God willing. Then I will continue right from where we left off, so closely without disrupting my lines. I continued my stitching without disrupting the lines. Like this. Okay, super. We've agreed up to here. You will continue the armhole like this. Look, you will continue it up to the top. Don't stop at the armhole. Go all the way to the shoulder. I can stop here now. Okay, this place, look, razor. It came out piece by piece, sharp as a razor. I'm coming right here next to it. Look, come closer. I will do the same process here. The same. If your fabric is reduced here, because you gathered it here, if your fabric is reduced here, you will open this part and take it here. So I prefer to go straight right now. I will immediately make my fixings up to the shoulder. From here on, friends, look, I stretched this part downwards and the top is already settled. A razor sharp view. This is exactly what we wanted. So this part fits like this. Now let's proceed upwards.
Hey, here, dear friends, after completing the side, this beweses the arm. This part has become a bit more liberated. Our lines are clear. The place we will draw is also clear.
First, if this area is going to go up, the process I always do is this. It goes up to here.
After this point, it will tighten until where? You know that chest line straight? What we're talking about here is this strapless part. It goes up to that chest line. After that chest line, it will tighten. Let me take my needle.
First, I want to complete this part. Following the chest line, following the upward chest line, I want to stabilize this area. After this, some people, well, their hands are practical. They set it in place. It fits perfectly. For some, this part turns, the fabric becomes like this. It doesn't fit. It insists.
In some cases, it doesn't work. I will go over those that don't work, like this.
After this point, since it will tighten here while walking, see, because it will tighten here, the pattern wants to breathe a little. When it wants to breathe, come closer like this. Let's open a claw like this. And let's cut our fabric in the direction the line will go. Oh, what happened? This part opened. Now, comfortably, the fabric might slip. Don't insist on getting the fabric cheaply right now. Look, we cut it. It's not important if the fabric doesn't meet edge to edge. Not important at all. After cutting, it took a breath. First, look here. Let's settle this part first. This,
look, I haven't come here at all right now. First, this part will sit properly, like this. Look, I will pin a few needles. If there's tension or discomfort, I will fix it. If I don't do this part properly, wrinkles will form. One of the main reasons is not working on this part properly. You know, in hijab models, there's always either a fold or a narrowing in the middle of the chest. There's this kind of wrinkle, this bulge, that's in hijabs too.
If you carefully remove this part, there will be no errors in your pattern. Now let's make a correction here.
I just secured this part like this, and this one here, I fixed it up to the shoulder. Look, this part will go like this. I took it like this, completed it. This part is fixed here. Collar, let's see what it needs here. I opened it, look, I opened it, I placed it back again like this. The same goes for here. Yes, this is the first area. This is definitely a region that needs attention. Soon, when it's pulled like this, everything will fall into place. Let's pay attention here. You will not cut this part from here. Let it stay like that. This is the first point. If we have fixed this place, look, if we have fixed it, this part is correct now. I have now canceled the event of my two fabrics coming end to end.
and look like this. When we set it, one fabric is short, the other is long. No problem, you will continue like this.
Since it's an important point, I extended my explanation here a bit. You will complete this part like this. What happened here? A comfortable flow towards the shoulder was achieved, and I left it here. Okay, we finished. Look, I stretched this part too. Take a look. I'm coming. I placed the vertical stitch here.
This, dear friends, is the process I'm doing right now, the first thing. Actually, I'm working on a modest body for you. Let it be a surprise. Right now, I'm working on a modest body for you. Alongside the modest body, I will make an exact copy of this for you. We will work on two different bodies, both open and modest. And you will hopefully make the best use of this. We have come this far. We have come this far. This part is complete like a razor.
We can stop here. Let's say this. Now the same process applies to the back as well.
There might be some tightness at the back as well. It's quite likely. Look, when we take it like this, the fabric turns, causing discomfort. What should we do, for example? Without prolonging it, let it come up as far as it can. Let's make the cut as we did on the front side, so it doesn't bother us. Just like this again. I took this part too, made an opening like this. After this point,
the adjustment is complete. From now on, it's comfortable, just like at the front.
now, however, there is tightness in the neck here. You need to open this area first. I want to apply the same precision we used at the front here as well. Let's position it here. Then we need to relieve this area.
How will it be? I just want to open this part like this. Okay, it can sit now. Look, it's relaxed. The tension is gone. Then we can now implement this area. Look here in my hand. See, I made this part narrow.
Look, an error occurred here. While cutting, we've cut it too narrow, just so you know. Let's be careful. Those points are important for using the fabric evenly between the two when cutting. Let's take this right away. Look, it's not even allowing me here. It's not giving permission. I realized that I need to stretch this part first to take it comfortably. See, it wasn't giving. I realized I needed to stretch this part. I stretched it upwards.
I will come here too. Look, I stretched it from this side so I can take it easily from here. Yes, now I am ready for a better result. Always points, important points. All of them are important points. We encounter it and can't get out of it. That's why right now we are seeing both the event that will happen to us, its application, and the detailed explanation. Look, I've come this far. I did the fixing here. It was my last fixing, and I think we're ready. Yes, we are ready.
I'm just easing this area so it comes out smoothly. Everything is fine. Everything is super and fine. All right, everything is set. So, dear friends, at this point, what we need to do is stretch the shoulders like this. And if there are any excesses, let's get rid of them.
Is there any here? No, we can take this excess from here. Let's stretch the excess out like this. Let it go. They will be cut now. I fixed these parts here. I also fixed this part here.
Yes, now I have fixed this part too. See, friends? See, let's liven up. Let's liven up. Look, I have fixed this part too.
I'm pinning this here with my needles with the help of a pin.
Cash? Yes. Look, everything is piece by piece. And what does it want? Patience, determination. We will get tired. Look, my arms are tired. I'm working in the air.
But does this stop us? Do successful people ever turn back because their arm is tired? They never turn back because their leg is broken. It's the same for you. Those who want to succeed never turn back because of such things. That's why you will succeed too. You will persevere like this.
We brought it this far, we saw it. At this point, my dear friends, we can either draw the final stage on the desktop, bring it to the desktop, or we can cut it here. It doesn't matter at all. However, is the process finished? No, it's not. With the help of scissors, I will make small corrections if there are any. What am I saying? The fuel level here is very high. It's coming right now. Let it relax a bit. Let's get rid of the tension. And like this, okay, look, I turned immediately. I didn't take my inner fabric here. I'm not rushing yet. I'm just taking a look.
The final version will be stretched. Look, I'm entering now. Come closer to me. I stretched, I stretched, I stretched.
I stretched it. Now, the process we will do should be such a pattern that it fits the standard market. Let's adjust this pattern to fit completely to 38 to 40. So what do I mean? Even if we send the pattern we will take from here to the normal market as a standard, I should be able to sell this pattern as size 38 to 40 according to my model measurements. They shouldn't go from 38 to 42 anyway. I mean, it shouldn't be distorted that much in this pattern. This is a 38-40 pattern. After that, size 42, 44 patterns come. Then size 46, 48 patterns come. That's how it is. No other action is acceptable.
Just so you know, now dear friends, let's look at these shoulders. Let's do the final fixings. I held it from the middle like this. I held the fabric at the back with the fabric at the front. I fixed it like this. This applies here as well. Look, I held the fabric at the back with the fabric at the front. This. Here, I also secured it together. I stopped. After this, there is a bit of drawing, preparation, and ironing phase. But right now, it's stretched like this. Now, let's apply some heat to it.
When the American cloth sees heat, it shrinks a bit. This shrinking happens after the mold is removed. And since we apply heat to correct the mold, to prevent it from shrinking again, they're early. By this
Yes, right now this.
When our friend saw the heat, he immediately pulled himself together and pulled it. Right now, there is no gap, not even air left inside. He gathered it. What happened? It completely took shape.
We said, now you are ours. Now you are with us.
Let's take it right away with the help of a pen. Dear friends, it can be an ink pen, a non-ink pen, a flying pen, or a non-flying pen. It doesn't matter. I'll just take any pen. Let me see what's available.
With the help of any pen, I will now draw on every part of this. Like this, look. I will draw on the places where the needle line is, where its path is.
Here you go. Now, my friends,
I generally drew these vertical lines. Look like this. I drew all these vertical lines. The only one left is the armhole line we see now. Let's do this together right away.
I'm doing it together.
Our lines are ready, sir. Everything is good. It was so easy. Now that we have lines, look, we can move very comfortably. All right, what do we need? My dear friends, we can say this. We saw this. If we want, you can clean these excess fabrics here right now. Other than that, in these armholes, at the turns of these armholes, what do they normally call it in fabric here? Is bias error. Because a bias error occurs, meaning there is a turn. Now let's say the fabric stretches like this. However, the fabric does not stretch lengthwise, it doesn't stretch like this. But when it is cut, since it is cut on the bias here, there is a gap of about 1 or 2 centimeters, and you know that there are folds in the fabric like this, like this. If we don't want this, let's take a precaution here while making this pattern to prevent stretching. Come closer to me. Let me take my scissors first. Let me take my scissors. Now we have interfacing. It's also known as sugar interfacing, body interfacing, fabric interfacing, cloth interfacing. It has many names in the market, but if you look closely, this side is sugary fabric interfacing, this side is sugary, and this side is plain cotton with a heat adhesive system. Now, we always work on a strip for our body patterns, especially in draping, as a precaution. What is that? To prevent stretching and avoid these mistakes, we take a precaution. And what is that?
We turn our interfacings into strips. Come closer like this.
We turn our interfacings into strips like this. Let's see. I took them and cut them thinly, not too thick. There's no need for it to exceed 1 centimeter. You can cut it into strips of 0.5 centimeter or 1 centimeter.
These will be very necessary things.
This means we can use these wherever we suspect a bias error. Now, these strips we prepared in this way, we sometimes use these strips inside the body as well. After cutting our patterns, we use them there to prevent any stretching in the fabric. Now, what we need to do with these strips? Dear friends, come closer like this. Place it like this and stick it here. It will be placing and sticking like this. I'm coming right over. I'm continuing right away.
And this side,
All right, this part is ready too. We apply this sample, but very effective process to the armhole of each pattern. After doing it, no errors remain. What's left? If we want, we can make cuts from here according to our centimeters. If we want, we can remove this, and we already have lines on the table. We can have a 1 centimeter seam allowance on our lines. It can be half, it can be 1, it can be 2. It's up to you. We give as much share as we want, and we cut accordingly. So now, if we've brought it this far, dear friends, if we've brought it this far, I'm not working on the collar right now. I will do the collar separately. So my work is actually done for now. What am I saying? I will take marks from certain main points. I will take marks from the expansion points. I will take the bottom lines. Come closer to me like this.
the bottom finish lines is here and here. Look, the beginnings and ends are sufficient, like this, and finish.
These will be cut. This applies here as well. But it's enough to draw the starting points like this.
This is for here, and this is for here. My pattern is 38 and 40. That's how it is. Let's also make a calculation for the back.
Since the seam allowance is right in the middle here, let me take this part out like this.
This is my main line. Look, this is my main line.
Let's pay attention to these points. Since this is the standard pattern I will provide from now on, there is a protrusion of about 1 centimeter.
It will serve our purpose. We will use it for this context.
This, our line is ready. At the most exciting part, the process we need to do. Right now, we need to remove all these pins and lay this on the table. After that, we continue regularly. Let's pay attention to these corners. Did we draw or did we not? The sterns, fronts and backs, right and left, are very important points. We need to pay close attention to these areas. If we haven't done so, it might get damaged. There might be shifts. That's why we have marked them like this. I just want to emphasize this point here. At the exit of the armhole. Okay, from now on, we'll see it on the desktop.
Yes, let's see this beauty ready. This bomb result. Super ready and super. Let's see it from above. I'm excited. Let's take a look. Let's take this. Now, Pascara is very important, friends. Pascara is very important. What is Pascara? Vacuum. Now, I'm going to heat this mold, but the vacuum needs to work. The vacuum will work so that after that,
I will intervene.
look, I don't intervene without activating the vacuum Pascara to prevent any damage.
I continue here like this.
The best, the finest is now ready. Let's take a look. Yes, my dear friends, I love you all. I'm leaving this stage here, and I know the most exciting part. Let's see what will happen. How will we have fun? How will we learn? How beautiful are we? See you on a new day. Take care. Take care of yourselves.